Thank you very much for staying with us here on News Today. Now, President Akufo-Addo is reactivating work on the abandoned 47-year-old maternity block at the Akufo-Addo Teaching Hospital in Kumasi. Work is expected to be completed in 3 years. The almost 1,000-bed maternity and child health block started in 1974 and was to help deal with the serious congestion on the existing facility. The blatant neglect of the project has attracted public outcry. Let's go live to the Akufo-Addo Teaching Hospital and hear from the Health Minister, Akufo-Addo, who is speaking at the brief ceremony.
The radio, everybody. And you told me, Mr. President, that we have to fix what we have to do in Ashanti. With your push and commitment, this is one of the outcomes of your admonition for us to fix health facilities in Ashanti region. Mr. President, we don't even know exactly how many years this project started. Some are saying 40. I told you yesterday, say 40. Some are saying 42. Some are saying 47. And the regional minister summed it up. Over 40 years. This is a typical example of an abandoned project. This is what we should call an abandoned project. Not the little ones we have come to finish almost all of them. And they wouldn't talk about this. Mr. President, we thank you so much. The regional minister, because this is his kingdom, sorry, Nana Otumfo, I'm sorry. This is his area. He said the people of Ashanti are thanking the president for this. No! All of us, to the north of Ghana, beyond Ashanti, this is our tertiary referral facility. So those of us in Bro, Ahafo, some parts of Oti, some parts of Savannah, even some parts of the north. This is where we come. So not only the people of Ashanti are grateful to you, President, all of us are grateful to you. And me as the health minister, I would say all of us in this country are grateful to you with your commitment to strengthen health systems in our country for us to achieve our key performance indicators in health that we are striving to achieve. Mr. President, as we thank you for this good gesture for us in health and in the country, there are several other things we are doing in country, but I want to mention specifically what we have in Ashanti. This year alone, 18 projects have been approved in Parliament for health sector. Out of these 18, 6 of them are in Ashanti. Manson Kwanta, this big one we are seeing here, Kedie, Suami, Robonso, Sabronum, and Obuasi to come. Ashanti, 6. Altogether, since I joined as a health minister, Mr. President, 17 healthcare facilities have been commissioned nationally over the last 3.5 years. And government intends to continue this drive in the coming years. In Ashanti again, we expect to complete some more projects that I would like to mention. Again, a typical example of an abandoned project is what we have in Bekwai. That one too, when we went to commission, do the sword cutting for the reactivation of Bekwai Hospital. The Bekwai man told me the project started during Kwame Nkrumah's time. It was abandoned. Then when President Akufo came, he started. And when President Akufo left, again abandoned. So when we went there to do the sword cutting, they said, we don't think this will complete. Mr. President, we will see commission of Bekwai very soon, even before the end of July. We virtually completed. Tepa Hospital is so advanced, and that one to be completed, Your Excellency, this year. 2 facilities we have had challenges with. Formina and Kumau started in 2012, expected to be commissioned in 2015. But we've had several challenges with the contractual arrangements when this administration took over. We are finally seeing settlement on most of the thorny issues, and with goodwill and commitment from the contractors this time round, we expect to complete them by close to the year. Mr. President, I sent my director for infrastructure and his young men to Formula yesterday. And the good news is that the contractor has mobilized to the two sites and they've started working, and it is quite encouraging. There are a few more to be completed in Ashanti again in 2021. Konongo District Hospital, Ashanti Regional Hospital at Sewa, and the military hospital at Tafari. That one is under the Ministry of Defense, and we've been just going around to see how much is going on there. That one too is expected to complete in 2021. Mr. President, when we saw the documentary, especially me, that was put up on Joy FM by Seth Kwame Boateng, which motivated your wife, Auntie Rebecca, to come and do what she did there, you continue to push me, and I was pushing my young people in the ministry. I just want to announce to Your Excellency that that man, Seth Kwame Boateng, is here with us today. And I believe he will take the news along, that what he did just formed in line with Nana Addo's thinking and commitment, and we have seen what we are seeing here today. Mr. President, I want to end my speech, but there are several other things that you have planned to do for us in the health sector. So I only mentioned the 88 district hospitals you intend to do, but I wouldn't say anything to anybody about it. I wish that the day we launch it, you yourself will pronounce to the nation. I said earlier on that, have we not seen COVID-19? This project will have started long before now. But when we sit down and think that COVID-19 is going to go away before we come and do this shortcutting, then it means that our prediction wouldn't come true. COVID-19 has come to stay with us. It will have nowhere to go very, very, very soon, especially when we haven't developed any vaccine, when nobody knows any serious cure directly towards it. We have to learn to live with it so we can live our normal lives. We can't allow COVID-19 to keep us indoors forever. So we need to manage COVID-19 just like we're managing diabetes, or cardio diseases in us, hypertension, or even malaria, or even TB, or even HIV/AIDS. They are all diseases we live with. So if you continue to observe and adhere to the guidelines, social distancing, like we're doing now, sanitizing, washing hands, no handshaking, and I was watching it before I was going to shake the hands of the president, and the two of them got it right. When I came, the board chair nearly shook my hands, and I drew back. I said, hey, Bakai. So let us remember and do these things. This is the only way we can go now. Our president is not sleeping. Excellency, your indulgence, let me say this in the public domain. He's not sleeping. And when I'm praying, I say, don't let us labor in vain. The only thing that can give recognition to all the hard work our president has done to fight COVID-19 is the fact that we observe the guidelines, the protocols, so that we cut the spread. That is the only way we can see rewards of the investments we have put in fighting COVID. So all of us Ghanaians, not only those of us in Ashanti or Bro or where, should begin to observe rules. So let us continue to wear the masks, a very short bit of trying to take ourselves away from the spread and cutting the spread. Government is doing all it can to put people in quarantine, put people in isolation. We are establishing new treatment centers. We are buying medication. We are buying PPEs. So many things are happening. What is left is us Ghanaians to complement the efforts government is putting in to stop the spread. If you do that, we can go and live our normal lives and regenerate the economy that is getting so depressed. Mr. President Otumfuo, thank you very much for this engagement, and we thank the President for his efforts. Thank you very much.
Shall we give another round of applause to the Honorable Minister for Health, Honorable Kweku Agyeman-Manu. He mentioned Seth Kwame Boateng. Seth, can you please come just closer inside the... Seth, are you here? Seth, can you please come forward? Give Seth a round of applause. Thank you so much, Seth. We have not seen you. Come a bit closer. Hope you are not a shy person, I guess. Now everybody's ninja. If you can do us an honor by removing, so that the next time you see you, and then thank you very much, Seth. Now, indeed, your documentary sends some kind of a very touching moment into our hearts, and we thank you very much for that wonderful piece of journalism. We thank you so much. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, Your Majesty Otumfuo Osei II, every story has an end. And that is why I know definitely this project one day will have an end. This afternoon, we are most grateful to have the Commander-in-Chief of the Ghana Armed Forces, the President of the Republic. I introduce to you once again Osiadeyo Nana Addo Akufo-Addo.
No, it's okay. Eminent clergy, Otumfuo Asantehene, Ashanti Regional Minister, Minister for Health, Minister for Food and Agriculture, Minister for Sanitation and Water Resources, Ministers and Deputy Ministers of State, Member of Parliament for Subin constituency and other members of Parliament, Chief Executive for Kumasi Metropolitan Assembly, Chair of the Board, Chief Executive, Management and Staff of Komfo-Anokye Teaching Hospital, Project Implementation Team, Nananom and other traditional rulers, fellow Ghanaians, ladies and gentlemen. In 2017, my first year as President of the Republic, I paid a 3-day working visit to the Ashanti region as part of my tour of the entire country, which has since become an annual routine undertaking of mine over the last 3 years. My itinerary in Ashanti that year brought me to the abandoned maternity and children's block of the Komfo-Anokye Teaching Hospital, Kumasi. I was made to understand at the time that this project had begun in 1976 as part of the Komfo-Anokye Teaching Hospital expansion project. It came to a standstill in 1979. It was reactivated in 1999 under the administration of the first President of the Fourth Republic, His Excellency Jerry John Rawlings, but again stalled shortly afterwards. In 2004, the administration of the second President of the Fourth Republic, His Excellency John Agyekum Kufuor, took it up. But soon after his departure from office in January 2009, at the end of his mandate, work on this project was discontinued until the assumption of office of another NPP administration, the Akufo-Addo government in 2017. In my remarks after the visit to this project site, I pledged that government would undertake a comprehensive assessment of the situation and would ensure that the necessary funds would be secured for the completion of this important piece of health infrastructure. A year ago, when I cut the sword for the commencement of Phase 2 of the redevelopment project of the Kumasi Central Market and the provision of associated infrastructure, I also indicated that Parliament has approved a €155 million loan to finish and equip the maternity and children's block of the Akufo-Addo Teaching Hospital. We appreciate the assistance of the German bank, Deutsche Bank, and the British government through the UK Export Finance, UKEF, in providing this funding. So, eminent clergy, Akufo, Ashanti Regional Minister, Minister for Health, Minister for Food and Agriculture, Minister for Sanitation and Water Resources, MP for Subin, KMA Chief Executive, Chair and Chief Executive of Akufo-Addo, Nananum, ladies and gentlemen. I'm very happy to be in Kumasi today, the virus notwithstanding, to cut the sword for work to begin finally to complete this ultra-modern maternity and children block. A project which is to be carried out within 36 months and whose funding has been fully secured. Once it is put up, the maternity and children's block will be a state-of-the-art modern health edifice with pediatrics, gynecology, and obstetrics units. It will serve as a referral center for 12 of the 16 regions of our country. It will be a 750-bed building with outpatient areas for adults and children, and it will have 10 operating theaters and diagnostic rooms, fully equipped with X-ray, ultrasound, and mammography facilities. It will house an intensive care unit, a high dependency unit, isolation rooms, and student lecture halls with the capacity to provide catering services for staff, patients, and students. As you all know, in addition to being President of the Republic, I'm also privileged to act as co-chair of the group of eminent advocates for the 2030 United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. The finalization of this project is thus very dear to my heart, as it will have a positive impact on our country's drive towards achieving the SDG targets under maternal and child health. In my 8th address to the nation, in the wake of the COVID-19 pandemic, I indicated that the virus has exposed the deficiencies of our public health system and has revealed the unequal distribution of healthcare structures around our country. Government is committed to providing access to healthcare to every Ghanaian, no matter where they are, for every Ghanaian is entitled to good health and good health care. That is the reason for embarking this year on the development of 88 district hospitals, Agenda 88, to ensure every district has a district hospital and 7 regional hospitals for the 7 regions that do not have one, all of which are to be done within a year. We're making these investments in our healthcare system because it is self-evidently necessary to serve the needs of 21st century Ghana. The rapid execution of policies such as the ban on public gatherings, the closure of our schools and borders, has resulted in our low COVID-19 infection, hospitalization, and death rates, some of the lowest in Africa and the world. Our policies are working, so let us all abide by them. I thus encourage each and every one of you in Asante and the rest of Ghana during this era of the virus to observe the social distancing and enhanced hygiene protocols that I have outlined. Do not forget to wash your hands regularly with soap under running water. Use alcohol-based sanitizers. Refrain from shaking hands. Cover your mouths and nose when you cough or sneeze. Wear your masks at all times in public. Eat well from nutritious Ghanaian foods and follow a good diet to boost your immune system. So, eminent clergy, Otumfuo, Ashanti Regional Minister, Minister for Health, Minister for Food and Agriculture, Minister for Sanitation and Water Resources, MP for Subi, KMA Chief Executive, Chair and Chief Executive of Akufo-Addo, Nananum, ladies and gentlemen. Government is aware, as underlined by the Chief Executive, that one of the critical challenges confronting teaching hospitals in our country, like Akufo-Addo, has to do with the unavailability of land for future expansion. I'm privy to the discussions that are taking place between Menchia and the board of this hospital for the possible release of additional lands for other projects, such as the Centers of Excellence for Cardiothoracic, Renal, Organ Transplant, Infectious Disease and Diagnostic Services, among others. The people of this region, and indeed the entire country, look forward eagerly to the conclusion and implementation of these discussions. In a related matter, I take this opportunity to commend respectfully Otumfuo for his support in helping to relocate the military barracks adjacent to this hospital. I'm urging the Ministries of Defense and Health to hasten the dialogue and finalize all outstanding issues with Menchia in this regard. Let me conclude by wishing the great King, Otumfuo Setutu II, the redoubtable Asantehene, once again, many congratulations on his 70th birthday. He has joined all those of us who have been blessed to attain our biblical portion of 70. I wish him a long, healthy life and many more years of his illustrious reign as the 16th occupant of the golden stool of the renowned Osepuku Royal Oyoko dynasty of Asante-Man. Accordingly, ladies and gentlemen, I hereby declare the construction of the Akufo-Addo Teaching Hospital Maternity and Children's Block duly reactivated. And I hope the project implementation team will work diligently and accomplish the project within the stipulated time on budget, as I'm confident they will. May God bless us all in our homeland Ghana and make her great and strong. I thank you for your attention.
The Commander-in-Chief of the Ghana Armed Forces, the President of the Republic, Nana Addo Dankwa, Akufo-Addo, we are most grateful. I'd like to invite the Director of Nursing at the Akufo-Addo Teaching Hospital, Madam Georgina Afua-Sam, to give a speech.
And so we had the President Akufo-Addo speaking at that brief reactivation ceremony of that old 47-year-old maternity block at the Akufo-Addo Teaching Hospital. Of course, this came to light when Seth Kwame Boateng produced that documentary, Next to Die, which reveals scores of babies and mothers die at the facility because of congestion. And of course, we heard from the President, who responded to calls by the Chief Executive of the Akufo-Addo Teaching Hospital to have more lands released to the facility so they can undertake some more projects to improve healthcare delivery. Let's return to Kumasi for some more. And we'll return to Kumasi shortly, but just so you know, let's refresh ourselves of that story that Seth Kwame Boateng brought us, Next to Die, and the journey so far.
lost on a daily basis as a result of congestion here at the Akufo-Addo Teaching Hospital, Ghana's second biggest teaching hospital.
Yeah, our mortality rates are around 20%, which means that a fifth of the babies who come in will end up dying. So that would maybe what? On a bad day, we can lose 6-7 babies. We've had days when we've lost as many as 10 in a day.
These heart-wrenching statistics from Dr. Jikua Planjuru, head of the hospital's mother and baby unit, were not the only worrying fact about the facility. Expectant mothers also had their share, according to the former head of the gynecology unit of the hospital, Professor Akufo-Addo.
In 2012, we had 152 deaths. Mothers. 2013, 126. 2014, 108. 2015, 102. And last year was 91.
All these were as a result of congestion. Congestion that made women in labor join queues and each wait her turn to give birth.
Some of them will deliver in the corridors. And it's not the best because you have to be in a particular position to ensure effective, safe delivery. So assuming the woman is standing and the baby just drops onto the ground, apart from the baby sustaining injuries, the mother will also sustain what we call genital tract injuries.
This same congestion meant doctors and nurses at the mother and baby unit had to put up to 4 babies in one cot or incubator.
Each of these babies is carrying his own set of bacteria, and then they are sharing. They are passing them on to one another.
How dangerous is that?
Your baby may come in with one infection, and then just as he's getting well and he's about to go home, he picks another one from his cot mate, and sometimes as I said, babies can die of infections very easily.
A few meters away from where these avoidable deaths were being recorded was the perceived panacea to the congestion, an almost 1,000-bed maternity and child health unit started in 1974 but had been abandoned. This didn't sound right.
Need not play politics with our health, and in particular this building, because all the governments have come and gone. None has been able to just finish this to take care of the people who go and queue to vote for them every year, especially our mothers and children, who make up the largest population of this country besides the men.
These concerns triggered the Next to Die documentary, which was first broadcast on 13th March 2017. This documentary shook people in Ghana and beyond, and it made many people angry at the reality of mothers losing their babies after 9 months of pregnancy.
And we sincerely apologize. You're having to relive this rather sad experience. This is third time referral to Akufo-Addo, and the experience is almost the same.
The public discourse on the blatant neglect of this facility continued for weeks, and this compelled President Akufo-Addo to visit the hospital to obtain first-hand accounts of the situation. It was Saturday, 1st April 2017, and this is what he wrote in the hospital's visitors book. I am very distressed at what I have seen here today. It is not to the credit of our nation that an important hospital project, KATH Maternity Block, should stand 44 years uncompleted. We have to do something about it, and I intend to do so. Contractors who were working on the project had told JoyNews about $75 million was needed to complete the project. They could finish the project in 2 years. These 2 years waiting period meant more deaths, so the multimedia group and the First Lady Rebecca Akufo-Addo had to intervene and raise approximately $2 million to construct an emergency ultra-modern maternity and mother and baby unit in a record time of 6 months.
I saw drawings of it, but I didn't know this is how it would turn out. I'm really amazed and overjoyed at what I see today.
And indeed, this facility helped to significantly improve the situation, save lives. But to further reduce the deaths, the abandoned 47-year-old building needs to be completed. Government has secured 2 credit agreements from the Deutsche Bank and the UK Export Finance, totaling 155 million euros to continue the project. Parliament approved this loan on 12 April 2019. All is set now for work to start on the facility, and on Friday, 15th May, President Akufo-Addo will cut sword for work to continue on the project. The chief executive of the Akufo-Addo Teaching Hospital, Dr. Hineba Owusu-Danso, says this would be the best gift the hospital would have ever received.
The fact that it is a facility within the center of Ghana that offers some unique specialized services that most regions don't have. The entire 5 regions in the north, their referrals come to us, even including the central region. So we need that facility to actually expand. In fact, where we are, as I've always indicated, the Accident and Emergency Center in Akufo-Addo Hospital is almost always full. It's all because we are getting referrals here every minute, every hour, because of the lack of facilities in all the regional areas that I have just indicated. And therefore, we need to have a very good space to transfer the patients out of the emergency area beyond their emergency care. And that is why the incoming project is very, very critical.
Well, from the Multimedia Group, we would want to thank you all for helping us push this agenda for better health for the mothers and babies in and around the Ashanti region.
And so that was Seth Kwame Boateng's report.